Hi,
Hi,
Serpil. Hello.
hi Marco, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so happy to meet you here. I
Yes,
hope you are fine as well.
yeah, me too.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I'm like, okay, it's good. Beside being at home, we have a curfew
Yes,
here, and it's really getting bored to be at home, but it's okay. Anyway, tomorrow it's work time, so I am even a little bit happy.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it's really good to see you and to be introduced here, Marco. I love social media. I love LinkedIn because these kind of tools connect our colleagues each other here. So I
yeah,
love really. Maybe you have seen in social media that yesterday I interviewed with one of our colleagues in Brazil,
yes,
Isabella. I also got to know her via Instagram. I was checking some pages about executive assistants and I saw her name and I just texted her if she's okay to go ahead with me interview, and she's a great lady. She accepted my request and also thankful to her, and now we are talking with you, and it's really great that I have a colleague like you. And in Turkey, there is an understanding that executive assistants should be ladies. But of course, it's also changing it slowly. I also have a
yes.
very successful executive assistant who is working in Ankara. His name is Farkat, by the way. Via this interview, I'm also sending my biggest greetings to him. Anyway, maybe you know me from LinkedIn that I am the member of IMA, and also right now I am working at textile company. I have executive assistant background for almost 18 years. And this is what I can say about me. But I also would like to know you, who you are, where you are working, what you are doing. So maybe you can share your day with me.
Thanks. Yes, obviously. So first of all, thanks for having me today as your guest. And I am Marco Macente. I am from Italy. I live close to Milan. And I have been working as an admin professional since 8 years right now. And I have a degree in economics and business communication. And at the moment, I'm working as an executive assistant and admin coordinator at Bayer, a pharmaceutical company. And I started working in the pharmaceutical industry 5 years ago, more or less. Yeah. So I am a member of IMA as well. And I totally agree with you on saying that the social media are very important, and especially during these critical times, it's very important to stay connected, to stay engaged, to know the other colleagues all around the world, to understand how we can perform in our role as best as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
So
As I told Isabella that we should be connected, we should stay in contact all the time. So if we use social media useful like that, so it's much more better for us to reach more contacts in all around the world. How long
yes,
you have been the member of IMA? I am a new member.
okay. I started being a member 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm pretty new as well. Yes,
Great. I joined newly with the support of Miss Menekşe Apap here. Thankful to her, by the way,
yes,
because if she were not in my life, I wouldn't have been aware of that there is an association like IMA. So I am a new member, but I guess in June we will start working on that more because of these pandemic issues. You know, all things have been stopped here in Turkey as well.
yes,
So, Marco, we are here to discuss about our job description, what you are
yes,
doing in a daily basic. I mean that as being an executive assistant in Turkey, that I am working at textile, what I am doing in a day that I am following my manager's agenda, meeting arrangements, travel arrangements, and also joining with him some critical meetings, taking notes, reporting, this kind of responsibilities we have here that I work
yes.
in my company. So how about you? How an executive assistant is behaving in Italy, in your side? What are you doing?
Yes, so pretty much I think it depends on the company in which you are working at, and also it depends on your manager. So thinking about my situation and my working experience, I can say that I'm lucky because I'm working with a manager that are recognizing the value that an executive assistant can have. And so I'm performing several admin tasks and several admin responsibilities. I can I can act on behalf of my executives as needed.
Oh,
And I'm working also, yes, I'm also working as an admin coordinator with the team in which I'm working with. So I'm managing some expense reports, invoices, IT requests. So if the team needs, for example, softwares or new hardware, I am the point of contact between my team and the IT department. So what is critical, I think, is to be a single point of contact, to be a person who your manager can rely on is something that, in my opinion, is something irreplaceable and is something that should be important for us. So our tasks and our responsibilities can raise and can also change basing on the level of trust that we have with our manager and with our teams.
Good. I will ask the same. Yeah, go on, please. Sorry.
Yeah, so there are also some specific topics or specific matters that sometimes I am committing to doing because, for example, I am working in the oncology department. So there are some topics, some matters that sometimes are very specific. So sometimes there is need to manage and to update spreadsheets or database, something like that. So sometimes, yeah, I'm also involved. Yes.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Right now I can hear you. For a while, internet has gone, but it's okay now. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marco.
I can hear you.
I will ask the same question that I asked to Isabella. Executive assistant position is in the place where it is supposed to be. It's enough valued in Italy. For Turkey side, time to time, as you said, it's depending on the manager, the culture you are working with. But how about Italy? Where we are globally?
Yes, so I think it is very important to see what are the trends and what is the scenario that we have globally. And as per my experience, we have on one side, modern countries and modern companies that see executive assistant and admin professional as business partners. So modern countries and modern companies have this mentality, have this corporate culture. For example, we have international companies such as Google, such as Pinterest that have changed the title of our role from the executive assistant into executive business partners to underline how we can play a pivotal role within the organization. And on the other side, there are some countries and some companies that unfortunately don't have this mentality, don't have this corporate culture around our role. And yeah, I think in Italy, we still we belong to this category. And unfortunately, something has to be done to have an admin revolution, we can say. So it's not always like this. As I said before, it depends on the company and on the manager that you have. But yeah, the general trend in Italy, and I think in the most European countries, is that the role is pretty much underestimated. So sometimes the role is not recognized as it should be.
Yeah, I agree with you. In Turkey, it's almost the same, but we still have time to be understood well, to be recognized well, really what executive assistants are doing. Because in some companies, we still had a definition of secretary, which I don't like. what I accept is executive assistant. It's much more formal and acceptable for me. This is why I conducted that project 1.5 months ago. So far, I reached more than 60 executives, including honorary chairman of China, and also many other directors, CEOs, to see where we are globally in all around the world. And I really got useful information, and I am planning to use this information at high schools, at universities, for the students who would like to be next generation of us. Because in high school, especially high school, I am asked always the same question: how this position is, what we are doing, just going among photocopy machine or fax. I'm trying to clean up this. No way. You really have a crucial position, and please, at first you need to train yourself, and then you can train your manager. If you give enough value to your position, then your manager can see and accept that position is really having a crucial in the company, so he can start giving you more responsibilities. This is why I started, and now I started slowly to reach executive assistants in all around the world to stay connected. And really, IMA is one of the biggest tool in that. Like you know, we are in contact, and it means that the other days we can reach more executive assistants, so we can change this world, the perspective, and so increase the consciousness of executive assistant job description. And Marco, I stated you that time to time I'm giving training in high school and also in universities. So what can be the suggestions of you to students? I'm asking this, especially at high school, there are male executive assistants, and they have many questions in their minds. As I told you, the understanding is executive assistants always ladies, but it's not correct, you know. And I also have an example here. So what can be your suggestions?
My suggestions are absolutely to believe in yourself, to be proactive, and to speak up when you want to cover a role like this. Because an executive assistant role is something that can give you the possibility to play different roles in one, because we need to be project managers, we need to plan, we need to organize, we need to coordinate many things. So being an executive assistant, it allows you to stay behind the scenes, but at the same time to know what is happening within an organization. So the suggestion that I can give to that people that want to cover this role is that to speak up, to level up, and to stay engaged, and to ask questions, to build a good relationship with your manager, to ask questions, to speak up, to show your interest in what you are doing, and to be proactive, because if your manager can see this attitude, for sure he or she will give you more responsibility, and the trust will arise definitely. So it's like a partnership, and it's a mutual partnership that it's very important.
Yeah, right. Marco, by the way, how many associations do you have in Italy on executive assistant? We have lots of associations here, but not all of them are working properly or really doing such a useful works on this position. As I said, I'm newly member of IMA, and as far as I can see, it's really such a biggest tool that I can get to use it. But how about in Italy? How many associations you have?
Yes, as per what I know, the most important international association is IMA. There are local associations, but I don't know them much, because when I chose to belong to an association, I wanted to look for something that was international, because this is something amazing, and having colleagues that comes from other countries is something that can enrich yourself, can enrich you. So when I chose something, I wanted to to something that was international. That's why I found IMA and I decided to belong to IMA. There are other associations, obviously, all around the world, like IAAP that is in the US, or the Executive Assistant Network that is in Australia. So if a person wants to establish and connect with other people and establish new connection, obviously a lot of opportunities for us to stay in contact. And also, yeah, the social media are very important. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram are important tools that we can use to stay in contact and to know our role from another perspective. From another perspective and from another point of view.
Right. And yesterday I also asked Isabella, but I also would like to ask you. During my interview with the executive website, I asked them what are the most three capabilities, skills that an executive assistant must have. And I asked them to tell me just three ones, which they see the critical. But I am also asking this to executive assistants. What are the most three critical skills that a manager must have for you to work with? For my side, my manager must hand himself over me, give 100% submission to go ahead with him in the same path. Because no matter how successful you are, what capabilities you have, if you are not talking the same language, not walking in the same path, you are nothing. You know, you cannot show what you are, in fact. So what's your most three critical skills that you look for the managers?
Yeah, I would say empathy, because as you said, it's very important to be on the same page when you are working with a manager. So empathy is a quality that definitely I would say that is important. I would say also intellect, because if a manager is smart, know that he can be a leader, it will be more easy. It will be easier for you to establish a good partnership.
Yeah, right.
So having a smart leader is it would be very great. It would be great. And another quality, it would be I think patient, because sometimes managers want to have things done. But we know that there are some procedures, there are some processes within the organization, and sometimes we are the makers of the procedures and of the processes, and we need to stick to that procedure, and we need to respect them. So having a patient manager, it will help us to handle with, to deal with all the things that we are committing to do it in the best possible way.
Right. Thank you so much, Marco. I'm done with my questions, and really thanking you too much for taking time for me here. Really appreciate a lot. It will also give value to my project and all the colleagues of us, and also the ones at universities and high schools. Of course, we will be in contact, and I'm sure that we will get to meet in one of IMA events in Turkey, yeah, or in all other countries. I don't know. I'm such a new member, so I have no idea what's going on, but I will be sure following up the events. So as I said, we will be in contact, because we need each other to
Absolutely.
increase the consciousness of this job description in Turkey or in other countries. I am also seeking for where we are globally. Yeah. Really, I have a big passion on that, because I love my job a lot. I am deeply in love, and every day when I get to learn new things, new responsibilities that my colleagues are handling there, so I'm falling in love more. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you too. Thanks for having me as a guest, and it has been a pleasure to speak to you. Thanks a lot.
Sure, my pleasure. Really great to see you, and stay in contact.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, and take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.